Hey everybody, welcome to another live episode of The Grid. My name is Scott Kelby and I'm joined by two men, each one more beautiful than the next. First to my left, my co-host, an awesome guy, Mr. RC Concepcion.
What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing?
Hey, how's it?
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, gracias. Anyway, hey, and also our special guest in the studio with us today, which the whole show will be built around with lots of love. Mr. Peter Hurley.
I like love.
He does like love. How you doing, Peter?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, absolutely. Hey, so we are like broadcasting behind the scenes feed today, right now on Periscope, which is an unbelievable new app. Here's our Periscopes, an unbelievable new app from Twitter. All right, and so it lets you have the ability to live broadcast anytime, not just when you have a whole studio full of people like we do here today. So if you want to follow us, Peter, you're on Periscope. I imagine you're Peter
_Hurley.
Peter underscore Hurley.
Yes, Peter underscore Hurley.
And I'm Scott Kelby, and RC, you are?
About RC.
About RC. All right. So anyway, if you want to follow us on, you can see the behind the scenes feed, and this is going to be actually much more boring than watching the actual feed. So for those of you who are watching on Periscope, you can actually watch the whole show and see all three of us at once at kelbytv.com/thegrid. All right. So one of the things we want to talk about today, it's one of our big topics, is you're a medium format photographer.
I am.
I mean, I think everybody that's been following you for all these years would know that you're a medium format guy.
I'm a medium format guy.
Now, what's the story behind the entire thing? Like, you were talking about it. We were in the office and we're kind of having a conversation about it. And he's like, but it's more than that. He's like, I started with it and I known with it, and then there's an entire backstory to that I think is interesting for people.
Okay, so for those of you don't know, I used to get paid for the way I look. See?
I don't see that, but go ahead.
You don't see that?
No, you're I'm very handsome. I think, wouldn't you say, RC?
I'm better looking than the
delicious.
average male, but thank God
delicious.
I picked up a camera because it wasn't going to go very far. I wasn't going to make a living getting paid for the way I look. But anyway, so I modeled for years, and every time I did a job, this was in the 90s.
So you were 4.
I was old. I mean, I was young. I'm old. I'm not that old. Anyway, every time I did a job, all the photographers shot medium format. Every photographer that I pretty much shot with shot medium format. So
can you? That's Peter right there.
That was
that's
it.
Peter.
That's
look at
me.
that, dude.
Look at those abs.
Look at those abs, dude.
That's phenomenal.
That is
you guys
quite
gotta
delicious.
see this abs.
Dude,
Look at this
look
abs
at those
action.
abs.
Can I flip Periscope.
All right, I'm going to flip over here. You got to see Peter's abs here. It's really something.
Here, show my Periscope people my abs.
Oh, you can't really see his abs. His abs
no,
are too far
on your
away.
screen.
Wait, it's over there.
Wait, here we go. No, yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
There we go. I had abs.
Come on.
You got to work for those guys. Hey, come on. If you want to get, you got to work for
Dude,
those.
that's genetic.
No. No, there was nothing there when I started. That was all work. That was all.
I can do
That
that.
was on that's some weird stuff.
So
Looks like me last
anyway,
year.
so let's see. Now I'm losing my feed here. Here we go. So what I was doing was I was doing these modeling jobs, and every time I saw these photographers, they had medium format cameras. They had RZ67s, they had Pentax 67s, they had Mamiya 645s.
Mamiya.
Yeah, sure.
I just like the
and
name.
Then I like that too, but mostly the RZ. I mean, most photographers shot the RZ. And I decided I had done this job for Poe. I became friends with Bruce Weber, and he kept encouraging me to pick up a camera. I have no idea why, but I listened to him, thank God. And when I decided that I was going to do this as a professional, I was like, well, if they all have big cameras, I got to have a big camera. Right. So I got a Mamiya 645 was the first camera I got. Then I bought a Contax 645, and I loved that camera.
How much do those cost? Like
I think back then they were like $4,000, maybe $3,000.
Like what's a medium format go for now?
One of those? They're not that expensive.
No, but like a digital
cameras?
back. Yeah, digital back.
Oh, a digital back can range anywhere from, I think the Pentax is like $12,000, and the IQ 280 phase is the most expensive one, and that's like $50,000.
Yeah, so I looked at a kit. I looked at a kit earlier this year, and the kit that I looked at with the digital back, the body, and one lens was $29,900.
And that's one of the biggest, that it makes, medium format shooting has been very cost prohibitive for a long time.
Right.
Go ahead, continue.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, so in 2000, so I started shooting. I was doing all my own film. I got a dark room, so I'd shoot all week. I shot all black and white because I started out doing headshots, and they were all black and white in New York. So I would process the film in my apartment, and then go to my mom's on the weekend. I built a darkroom in her basement, and I'd work on everything. And what happened was there was a transition for actors in New York. In LA, it went first, so they started using color headshots. And I went like, oh, and I had started to teach myself how to print color, but I still had to get the film developed, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to do both black and white and color. This is crazy. I should go digital. And people started talking to me about digital, and DSLRs in 2004 were like, I hate to say it, but a joke compared to the medium format cameras. The medium format cameras really had juice. And I decided that I was going to invest in my career, and I was going to lease. This is the best thing I ever did because I had zero credit. I'd never owned a home. I never owned a car. I never owned anything. And the guy's like, look, I'm going to have to hammer you on this payment, but you know, because you never owned anything. But I leased that thing. It got me a mortgage on my home. Like after that, I had credit. I built credit with this camera. But it was like, it ended up costing me like 40 grand over the 3-year lease or something like that. But back then, I didn't have a choice.
Did you buy it from a guy named Nick? Was he like, hey, I got a medium format for you?
All right, there's a better part of this story. So I pay off the lease. At the end, there's like a balloon payment that I didn't know about. And I was like, I need the camera. I got to pay it. I paid the balloon payment. 2 months later, guy from Hasselblad calls me and he goes, do you remember filling out this online survey in October? And this was like December. And I was like, vaguely. And he said, well, 18,000 people filled it out. And we picked 4 winners and you're one of them. And we're going to give you H3D 22. I was like, what? So I had just paid off the other one, and they gave me one, which was really great. And I was a Hasselblad shooter for years, and I never owned a DSLR. I still haven't bought a DSLR. I've never owned a DSLR. I have been fortunate enough to start working with Canon and start playing with a lot of their toys, and I'm having a blast with them. But I've never bought a DSLR. And I've gone through. I was with Hasselblad. I was shooting Hasselblad for a long time, and I switched over to Phase, and I shot Phase for a while, and now I got this bad boy, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So,
so nobody has these. This is like, it's pre-production.
Yeah.
This is the Canon 5DS.
Yes.
Right.
This is the 5DS.
50 megapixels, more than 50 megapixels, 50 point something megapixels.
50.6.
50 sounds good.
50.6
sounds good. I'm not the most technical guy. I just like the way stuff looks, so it looks good.
How do the pictures look coming out of it?
They look great. I mean, I think it's just
particularly
amazing.
Because from you being a guy from a medium format background, to be able to shoot a camera that's a DSLR and compare it, not just because it's not just megapixels. Megapixels are nice, but it's the quality of the image it takes.
You got a lot of different variables going on. I mean,
hey, before you go on this, I got to sign off this thing. I'm like holding it on
these
the
Periscope people.
So
I have people on Periscope.
I'm gonna go. Hey, if
guys,
you want to follow us,
press the hearts if you want me to keep this Periscope going from underneath my mic.
All right. So
I don't think I should
would
keep it
just
going.
say you can follow us at
Kelby1. Should I keep it going? I'll keep it going.
Follow us at Kelby1, and of course you're seeing my feed here, but we do a ton of stuff over at Kelby1. So I hope you'll find that. I got to sign off here because I'm like trying to do a show and I'm like managing this thing. This would have been better before the show started than now. So anyway, thanks very much, and we'll catch you all later. Take care. I'm going to swipe down.
Now, for those of you guys
stop
who are
the
watching on the live show,
Right.
let's just cut over to Peter's abs when he was a kid.
My
Just
There he is.
because, why not? Let's just treat you guys.
Look at those abs.
amazing. Look at those abs. I'll take them.
Yum.
I wish I had them still.
Yummy.
That's a lot of work, though.
I know.
Is it?
It's a lot of
It's
work.
okay.
Yeah, I'm blown out on my Periscope app. They got to fix that.
Yeah. All right,
the lighting here?
So you've never owned a camera before. Now you're looking at this 5DS. You've never owned a DSLR before. Now you're looking at the 5DSR
I started
or the
shooting,
5DS.
I did start shooting the 5D Mark III.
Okay.
And I've been using that on and off for the past year. And then I got this. So I had this once before. They gave it to me last week, I guess, but I had it for like 4 days or 5 days. When it first came in, I had it in the studio and was testing it out and stuff. And it's just like it's changing the game is what it's doing, because there's a lot of things that medium format cameras are phenomenal for, but there's also like all these bells and whistles on these cameras that medium format cameras don't have.
Right.
Like I don't know what autofocus is. Like I don't.
What's autofocus?
I don't even know what it is. I don't know what a focus point is to save my life. I'm like always like there's just the middle of the camera in medium format land. So for me, that and speed, there's just a lot of different things. And now you've got the file really packs a punch. So you've got this. It's this bad to the bone chip in here that just makes everything smaller and easier and faster and stuff like that. It's all these different things. Now, I don't know.
Let's see how much it's supposed to cost.
I don't. It's also a price. Yeah, it's supposed to be like
30,
under
95,
4,000.
under $4 grand.
I'm going to check the B&H website right now.
All right, we're gonna look at B&H.
So the Canon 5DS right now, you can get it on pre-order. So last I checked, $38.99. I was off by $4.
All right.
So you can get into a body on this for
Pretty good.
$38.99, and the next level medium format camera, which would be considered like the Pentax, I think, is about 12 grand. Look it up. What's the Pentax? Like 12 grand.
I'm going to say 12.5.
You're talking about opening up a market to photographers that people wouldn't end up being able to pony up all this money, and now they have all the lenses already.
So
yeah,
would you say
if you're a Canon
amazing.
shooter, you've got tons
So
of
it's
lenses
645.
already, Yeah.
You'd say a 645 would be about comparable. 51.4. So you're looking at
It's only 8,500.
8,500 versus only is
Sorry,
half.
sorry guys.
It's 50%
Sorry,
off.
I'm a pro. I spent $40,000 on the one in 2004.
Yeah,
It's like
see?
crazy.
But you also have to have lenses for medium format. You can't just slap your existing lenses on a medium format.
Right. So if you were to take a look at this, and again, let's see. Let's take a look at what they would say for accessories, because that's usually where they would put the lenses, right? So inside of here, lenses. Oh,
So
well,
on the left over there.
lenses. Okay. So yeah. So if you went with a 90 millimeter, that's about $5 grand
For a fixed focal length.
for a 90. Yeah.
So
So,
whatever-
200.
You're talking heavy duty.
100.
Yeah. So you're
Hey, can we see
talking
some
heavy
pictures? You
duty.
took some pictures with it, right?
I took some pictures with it,
Yeah.
yeah, but
No,
I don't know
hey,
if it's
hey.
going into the.
Well,
it
while-
says I
while you're-
cannot connect to the. How do I connect to that? I just press this.
You know, we
and
normally,
then-
go to control room 3. Now, while he's digging up those pictures, I know that a lot of people, when this came out, because of its name, so you have the 5D. This is the 5DS.
It won't connect to
Yeah,
that. It
there's a
doesn't.
5D.
Yeah,
There's the 5DS.
Yeah, I don't think that anybody. I don't think Canon's. Well, I'm sure because we've talked to Canon about this. This is not the replacement for the 5D Mark III.
No.
So this is not the 5D Mark IV or whatever it would be.
No, well,
if it were to be something, right?
couple-
it would-
I have no idea. Don't say Scott said there's one. Nobody's told me anything.
Couple reasons. I mean, this
wish they
is
would.
the CMOS sensor. It's 50 megapixel. It goes to 6400 ISO. That's it.
Yeah.
The Mark III goes up to what?
Right, yeah, this is not a replacement for the 5D.
No.
It's not the next version of the 5D Mark III. It is for its own special
new
market.
camera.
And it really is for a market of someone who's been using, I think, medium format
Right.
that is ready to move on to something else. I think it's for people who have always dreamed of using medium format
Yep.
and for Peter Hurley.
For people
Yeah.
that are doing landscape shots, I think you're going to see a lot of that kind of
la-
stuff. Studio work.
Landscape photographer, studio, commercial. So you did, you shot, I see Brad over there.
Actually,
shot
let's do this.
Brad.
Before
I'm
we do
trying to get this thing on the-
Before we do anything else, let's just get and take a quick break. We'll take a quick break.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
get your
fix that.
camera. We'll get your thing on, and we can answer a couple questions because there are questions that are coming in on
Yeah.
the 5DS and the 5DSR. Figure we'll put all of that stuff all together when we come back.
Yeah,
from
we
our
see
break.
some questions. We'll get them as soon as we come back. He's right. What he just said is absolutely, I agree with it 100%.
I approve. Anyway, we'll come back in just a bit here on the grid.
Oh, wait. Greg, do you see that?
Yeah, Bryn. What tracks are those?
I don't know.
These look like moose tracks.
Moose. In Africa.
Station says fresh tracks of a moose heading east from First Avenue Piccadilly towards Fred Street.
Greg, keep a lookout for fresh scat out here.
Bryn, I don't know what moose scat looks like. Station tracks of the moose look to head east. Brendan, look.
Moose is in Africa.
Hi everybody, Scott Kelby here, and I want to tell you about my brand new full-day seminar. It's called Shoot Like a Pro Reloaded, and it picks up right where the last seminar tour left off. It's that next level of stuff. The first class is called The Secret Sauce. You've got this nice camera, you have some really nice lenses, but you're still not getting the kind of shots you want. It's because you gotta know the secret sauce. Number two, the second class of the day is called My 7-Point System for Lightroom, or if you use Camera Raw, it's for that. And you're gonna learn the 7 things you need to know. Once you know those 7 things, it's gonna change the way you work in Lightroom or Camera Raw forever. Third class of the day is called Really Great Lighting on a Really Tight Budget. And we show you how to do that next level of lighting, but we keep it simple and we keep it inexpensive. The next class is called The Stuff That Nobody Tells You. And when I did the class for the first time, you know what everybody came up at the end of the day and said? Why doesn't anybody tell us this stuff? So that's what we're gonna do in the fourth class. And we end the day with photo recipes where I go through basically a cookbook of type of images. Here's what the image looks like and here's exactly how to get it. Hope I'll meet you in person on my brand new from scratch tour. It's called Shoot Like a Pro Reloaded. Hey, we're back. We got Peter online here. Everything's working, and I don't know. We're back. I think that's all I have to say. We're back. We're back. And now you got a chance to shoot Brad Moore, which is I know that if we did like a raffle and sold tickets, that people would line up because of his beard. Right. And you captured his beard in an amazing way.
Well, I mean, he's kept his beard because I captured his beard the first time, and it got him a lot more views on Tinder.
Nice.
Dude, his Tinder numbers went bonkers. Bonkers.
Wow, look at him. He got red.
You could not get a hold of Brad on weekends. Look at him. He's like, well, yes, it did.
He's like, and I thank you for this.
And thank you, Mr. Hurley.
He's not shaving that thing.
No, he's not. Are you kidding?
No way.
He's a burning hunk of churning funk, let me tell you. All right.
So I haven't even messed with these. Are we going to bring the screen up?
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't even really messed with these. These are like straight out of the camera. What we had it set on standard for the picture mode, right, Brad? This one is the 5DS. So let's just go in at like, what is this? Oh my gosh! You don't want
that's a follicle
that's
right there.
a beard right there,
that's
buddy.
A beard. Holy smokes! Let's look at this eye action. Whoa, what happened? Hold on. We're back into the eye. It's a good looking eye right there.
That's
a
beautiful.
So that's the S. So
that's got a gift.
Let's just see.
Now there's two different. There's the 5DS and the 5DSR.
Here's the R. I don't know how well they could see, but this is, to me, I mean, geez, I'm gonna need my glasses to see what we got going on here. I mean, I'm not a technical guy. I look at both of them and I'm like, do I need more than that? Everybody, this is the biggest question that I get. I get asked, do I buy the S? Do I buy the R? And people are pre-ordering, and I want to have the answer to that. And there's only, as far as I know, there's only 4 of these cameras in the country.
Right.
So there's 2 of them in this room.
Yeah, and they're looking. This is going to ship this summer, is what we understand. Early summer.
Awesome.
Ish.
Awesome.
Early summer-ish.
Awesome.
Now, so RC, can we talk about, because I know you know this, the difference between the 5DS and the 5DSR. There's 2 different models.
Yeah, the only thing, like the sensor is exactly the same. The only difference is that there's a system inside the camera that actually cancels out the low pass filter. So you're eking out a little bit more detail out of the images with the R, but you're really not going to see that kind of detail unless you're looking at very, very specialized application. Like you're arguing really small amounts of detail, but for those who are kind of looking for that kind of detail, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It introduces some patterns. Some people say that it introduces patterns. It introduces problems in areas like like moire, like shooting moire patterns.
Yeah, because that low pass
breaks.
filter is what helps guard
Offset some of that.
Hey,
well, you want to see?
Yeah, can I show you one? I actually did a shoot with it yesterday, and I did a shoot of one of my guitars. And this is the raw unsharpened file. So, I mean, I did some retouching because it was sitting on a guitar stand, right? I had 2 legs on the guitar, so I had to retouch some of that stuff. What I didn't remove was really, I didn't want to remove dust and particles like that, but I'm going to show you. This is I'm going to zoom it in here because the detail, that's going to be ridiculous to see detail on a webcast. But the detail is phenomenal. And this is completely unsharpened straight out of the camera. And so here's another one if I can. Here's another one shot yesterday with the camera. But I want to tell people about this. Be careful what you wish for, because the detail on these super 50 megapixel cameras, it's like, watch what happens. I'm going to go way, way in here, because what happens is there's so much detail.
There's dust.
You see every little bit of dust. Now, this is an unretouched photo. It hasn't been sharpened. I haven't done anything. I think I fixed the white balance. White balance is off a little bit. But I haven't retouched or taken out anything or sharpened it. So
Some good stringing action right there.
Yeah, you can really see the string wound around. But there's some hair coming off the side there. It's kind of nasty. But here's the thing. This is when you're getting this crazy super sharpness, you really are, getting a whole nother blend. And I think there's 3 advantages that you get here. Of course, number 1 is the price. The price, I think, like you said, it's a game changer. Lowers the barrier to entry.
Right.
Number 2 is just the size and portability of of a DSLR size is I've shot with medium format, and this is definitely a more friendly experience.
Oh my gosh! Just coming down here, I threw it in my backpack with a 100mm macro and a 24-70 just to have it, and I didn't even feel it. It's like nothing.
Yeah, it's like
if I had
nothing.
thrown my medium format in my backpack, I'd be like, oh my gosh.
And the variety of lenses that you can choose from. There are so many Canon EF lenses that you can choose from that go right on there. So I think those are the 3 big things. RC, you did shoot with it. We all got to shoot with it.
Yeah, I did. Well, I'm trying to answer a question here real quick. D-Spectre32 said, what's the size of the raw files and how is the shadows and noise? We've done some very, just initial shot work with it. Let's see. Here's a raw file that I have. It's 57.7 megabytes is what I was looking at this raw file. So 57, 68. I've seen it go as high as 77, depending on the amount of color detail that you have on it.
Yeah, it depends on how much detail is in the file.
High ISO. I thought it was good.
I can't tell you. I always used it at the lowest ISO because I was doing a product shoot. Did you do any high ISO stuff?
Yeah, I was testing it from. I started at 400, went up from 400 to 800, 1600, 3200, and then 6400, and I shot it on my. I have this black background that I sell called a Hurley Pro board. It's a black matte background, and you started to see some noise in the background. Up at definitely 64 had some more noise. 32 was totally usable but had the noise. 1600 really nice. 800 negligible.
And that's the thing that I think is a little hard sometimes to be able to quantify when you're talking about noise, because it's like what one person would accept as okay for noise, there's other people that would be like, that's usable, it's okay. So you'll hear a lot of these comments about usable. I thought it actually, as a whole, I thought it did okay on the noise standpoint.
I thought it was amazing. I mean, I'm looking at the screen and when I realized how far in I was to actually even see the noise, I was blown away.
Right. So for me,
on a print, you're not gonna barely gonna be.
For me, while we were doing this, I kind of went in a different route. I was playing around with it, and 2 model friends of mine, right, my friend Vita and Island, got together, and we wanted to do kind of this. They're great character people, and they wanted to put together and do kind of like a 1920s style thing. And we found this mansion a couple of hours away from here, and I did a shot. Let me see where here it is. And so I'm on the opposite side of it, right? So what I'm doing a little bit of, cropping and moving around and doing stuff. So this is the shot that I did, which is a little bit more, it's more finished, right? What I thought was kind of neat about it was the color depth on it, right? It felt very dimensional to be able to shoot at that big. I'm looking at bigger files and I'm printing bigger files. So those have been the standout features for me. If you're looking at it on, let's see, if you're looking at, this is one of the other files that's here. You see, I've played around with it already a little bit, but if I were to zoom in into this one section, I thought there was a great amount of detail on this, and you're printing this. This is going to be printed big, really, really big.
Really big.
So,
hey, Susby asks, if I'm saying that right. Sousby asks, what is the difference in medium format and our full frame DSLRs? I don't know. Do you really get better pictures? I think it's the detail and the ability to print, of course, very large. When you have 50 megapixels, you can print it on the side of a bus. You can also crop in if you have 50 megapixels. But what are your thoughts on advantages? I think it's image quality has got to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about image quality, really, and that's what you're getting out of it. I mean, I like to have whatever the best equipment is that's available for my clients that I can have, and this thing allows me to do that. The medium format that I shoot allows me to do that as well. The sensor size is bigger in a medium format. So that's a factor. So those will always be a little different because they're keeping this body size and the same sensor size, so it's a little bit different there. But other than that, I don't, the look of a medium format camera is going to be different because of the lens and the sensor size is going to be.
Hey, you know what? Maybe we can get
different.
Brad to share some pictures. Brad did some concert shots, shot it at 6400 ISO. But before we actually look at Brad images, I think it's more important just to look at Brad.
Wow.
Hi, Brad.
Fresh from Tinder.
How you doing, bro?
Doing good. How are you?
How's it working for you on Tinder? Good?
No response.
No response? You notice he didn't say I'm not on Tinder. He just said no response.
I'm going to dignify that with a response.
I think that is a response, by the way. So, Brad, you got to shoot a concert with it.
Yes, I did.
Okay, and thoughts, comments?
It's good. It's one of the things at some concerts is, you're not always going to be right up at the front. So if you're shooting from a soundboard or something, having that many more megapixels that you can crop into, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize that's one of the advantages of having a really high megapixel is that if you take something that's 18 megapixels and you have to crop in, you have less of a usable file,
Right.
And so when you start with a 50, you can crop in and still have 24 left. So you can crop in to death and you've got a ton of megapixels left. I think that's a big thing. How was the noise? You shot at 6400 ISO?
I put it up on your guys' screen. They can't see it, but you can, and you can let me know.
Are you going to put it up on our screen?
Do you see it?
Oh, okay. Now you're zoomed into what, 100% there?
That's 100%. That's a 6400 ISO.
Yeah, you don't see really noise on the person. You can see a little noise in the background, right? But we're looking at it. We're looking at it on a giant screen, larger than anyone will ever see this print. Because it's on 70-inch television. We're looking at it at 70 inches across.
So
Most people will
mirror
never
to
make
the
a
control
70-inch print.
Yep.
Well, but it looks much grainier in the broadcast screen than it does on the screen here. It looks grainy in what I'm looking at on our replay, but it doesn't look nearly that grainy on the actual television we're looking at it.
So there you go.
Are you looking for something, Aracey?
Yeah, I was gonna turn around and I was gonna just show a couple of different things here. So here's the original frame that I wanted, right, of these two people, and I was like, oh well, this is kind of neat, right? And I've kind of blown it out a little bit. I don't know which one to trust. I don't know if I should trust my computer or if I should trust.
Always trust your computer.
Trust your computer. So if you look at this here, right, and I'm just going to grab this file. I'm going to edit this file inside of Photoshop. I was looking for kind of like that American Gothic square. I just wanted a very square picture.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this kind of took a
your
lot out of
eyes
it.
were drawn over there.
So, but if you're looking at the original file, when you're working with this, so this file is 28 by 20. So 30 by 20 inches at 300.
At 300.
Right? So at 240, it would be even higher still.
Right, of course.
So in that, I'm like, well, this part I think sucks right here. So, but I'm like, all right, I'll just deal with that later. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to 101. And that's the frame that I wanted.
Yeah.
Right there. So you double click on that. If I were to open that up, and I just kind of want to open up the two there just to kind of have them side by side. So there's my frame, and we take a look at the image size of this. That's still 20 by 20.
20 by 20.
At 300.
At 300, which is, you're not even going to print it at 300, you'd print it at 240. Why don't you uncheck the sample button, type in 240. So printing size, native out of the camera, cropped, you can do 24 by 24.
That's pretty big.
That's huge.
Uncropped.
Because a lot of times when you see these big images, they've been upsampled. They've been artificially rezzed up to be able to make the file that big. You're not printing the native file 24 by 24. You're generally, I don't think up till now, is there something that does a 24 by 24 native? I'm looking at Brad, and Brad will do his famous. Let me get Brad set up here. Hey, Brad, what camera does a 24 by 24 native at 240? All right, thanks. You know how many times I see that on a photo shoot? You can't even imagine. Brad, do we bring a reflector? Do we have a diffuser? Do we have an extra battery?
Did you ask me to bring one?
Ooh. Oh, that's his. Oh my gosh. Oh, you
I'm
know
sorry,
what?
an extra battery's in the assistant handbook.
He just revealed a classic Brad Moore line.
Did you tell me
Did
to?
you ask me to bring one?
Guys, I actually found the files that I tested. Let's show 'em.
Oh, okay. He's got some
Nice.
files here. All right, Peter. Can you
I
make
got
them bigger?
This is Prath. So I did a little thing on it for Resource Magazine, and this is at ISO 320. This one is 640. This one's 1250.
Look at the top of the eye over by the.
But this is at
eyebrow.
400%.
Yeah, I mean,
Should we be at 400%?
no, you should be at 100%.
No, I think you should be at 100. Only if you're going to print it at 400%.
All right.
Brian Zalowski,
These are all at
Zalewski
2500.
5 asks, I want to know how RC felt the 5DSR handled compared to the 5D Mark III or the Nikon D810. You've shot them both RC.
I think that what happens when you're working with larger megapixel files, you're going to need. This is going to be something that I think that when you're shooting with, you have to be kind of a little bit more careful with shooting with a bigger sensor.
You have to be stiller.
It's more, yeah. You have to be more still when you're working with it. It's something that goes on a tripod. It's something that you shoot with a cable release.
But that's any high megapixel.
Any high megapixel does that.
Yeah.
And I remember when you do that, when you do have good technique and you work with most of that stuff, you'll eke out the most amount of detail out of that file. So those were my experiences when I was working with the D810. And the D810, good as it was 36 megapixels.
Right.
We're talking a completely different land now.
50.
50.
50.
So even more so, it's kind of one of those things where you have to be very specific about working with it and doing that kind of stuff. So that's where landscape and studio, and if you hit things with the light, then it's totally fine.
Yeah.
So that part's okay.
Hey, can we go to my screen real quick?
Yep.
Just real quick. Because we didn't really talk about how cool this guitar is.
No, we didn't.
Everything was about the sharpness of the lens and the camera. But seriously, this is a Paul Reed Smith. This guitar needs a second just to marinate. Just not on the photography, not on the pixels, just on how lovely the guitar is.
Wow.
And back to RC.
So we're working with that. So you have, nice. So we have a 18.1 megapixel camera. On average, we'll shoot 17.28 by 11.52 inches at around 300 dpi. 50.6 is 28 inches by 28.96 by 20 at 300 dpi. So we kind of wanted to bring that out there. Kiyusha said, what kind of storage cards is it using? It's using CF cards. Right, I would say you would want to make sure that you use high-speed CF cards, right, to be able to kind of push that information across. The difference between the two, if you had to choose between a 5DS and a 5DSR, I think that you're going to see that most people are going to choose the 5DS. I think that that's going to be the standard model.
That's the one without the high pass being disabled.
Right. So I think that for the most part, working on the 5DS is going to be more than enough, and I think that that's going to be the de facto standard on that camera. I thought that what I liked about it was the fit and finish and all of that stuff because I'm exactly the same. So it felt like using something like a 5D Mark III. You were just really working with something.
But
that
if you're
the engine inside of it.
This is really a camera made for the highest megapixel stills. If you wanted to do
Yes.
stills and video, you would still really use
5D
the 5D Mark III because that's got the uncompressed raw video. It's got the mic inputs. It's got. I mean, it was. That's like the famous camera for doing video.
Exactly. So it's one of those things where it's like the 5D, I think just kind of the 5D name behind the entire thing could confuse people when you're working with it, but the S is not the next evolution of the Mark III.
No.
This is a completely different camera
For a
very
very
specific
specific
set of
audience.
people. So, Peter,
Rich people.
All right, so what happened was
No,
when I
that's the
shut,
idea. It's amazing.
Well, when I
That's
shut
nice.
down, it took off all my settings when I shut
Okay.
it down. So now they're gone. But I mean, I could show a little bit of this. So this is the 5DS. Let me see if I can. I was hand holding, so I had picked out the ones that were the sharpest. So I was trying to get some moire in this detail and in the chair, and it wasn't.
Moire.
And this was the S, and I couldn't get it all. And then I shot it with the R, and I couldn't get it to show up either.
So regardless of which one you had, you could not get
I could not get the moire to show up in this scenario, and I ran around here like a maniac looking for something with a pattern, and that guy wasn't here, so I couldn't, you know.
Does he look a moire kind of guy?
So, but it usually shows up in
Moire.
fabrics like on the backs of chairs and stuff like that. So, but I could not get it to show
But it
up,
did
which
well.
was good. It did great.
I mean, and
But
this is
both
one
of them did great.
And I
And
think
I-
that this is one of the things that we want to kind of be able to highlight, because I think one of the reasons that you're here to talk about most of this stuff is the fact that you're an individual who has spent his time shooting very expensive, very high resolution,
Very expensive.
medium format cameras.
Formato.
And if you can't find the difference,
I can't find the difference.
Well, I pay the difference. Remember somebody used to have that in their ad?
I don't know, but you
see
can
the
use
difference.
it.
Why pay the difference?
And that's and who would have thought that in this day and age you could shoot that kind of stuff for a fraction of what you would normally do?
Hey, we're going to take a break. Peter, I think, needs a few moments of quiet time with this program. I do want to mention we have some giveaways we haven't talked about. Hey, you know what we have that's pretty special about today's giveaway? We just got the first couple of copies of Jay Mazel's new book. So this is Jay's second book. It's not about the f-stop. And Jay actually wanted to use another word there instead of... He wanted to put a word in between the and f-stop that you would probably not appreciate. Maybe people that follow Howard Stern would love it. But anyway, this is Jay's brand new book. His first book was just a smash hit. This is his brand new one. It's called It's Not About the F-Stop. Jay is a living legend of photography. What's great about this book is the headline says it all.
Right.
The fact that it's not going to talk about camera settings, but it's going to talk about the next level of photography. I've read the whole book from beginning to end. Absolutely amazing. This is, if you've been waiting to get the photographer in your life a gift that it will have real meaning to them.
Now, and the funny part about it is that usually when these things come in, when the first books come in, it's like everybody just grabs a copy to go read it, to be able to do reviews. We're not even getting a copy. You guys are going to get that copy. So I'm sitting there going, I want to take a look at that book so bad.
Oh, the stories are amazing, and the way he teaches through his stories is really phenomenal. You will learn a lot. It's beautifully laid out. It's beautifully done. We're going to give away a copy of Jay's book. We're also going to give away
a copy of Photoshop for Lightroom users. So it's a great book by Scott Kelby talking a little bit about.
I love that guy.
Oh,
this is crazy.
It's me.
Ludicrous.
So it's a specific book dealing with individuals that are working with Lightroom and just when you would go over to the Photoshop site to be able to do some stuff. I like it. Quick, straightforward, to the point.
It is
a good companion.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about still, and we're on a tight schedule, so we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to see if Peter looks like content now, so I think he's gotten to a point where he's going to show us some images, or maybe not.
I'm learning how to do the keyboard shortcut. I'm teaching myself.
It's all about keyboard shortcuts. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, more Peter Hurley. We've got some things to talk about that we haven't talked about yet. What's the frames per second on this thing, real quick? Last question before we go to break.
I think it's 5.
I believe it's
isn't it?
5.
That's
5 frames a
amazing.
second.
That's what I'm talking
It's
about,
5.
people.
All right.
So, let's take 5.
Let's take 5.
We'll see you guys back here in a bit.
Wink.
I'm Cliff Mountner. I've always envisioned taking Kelby 1 for an inside look at how I approach a real wedding. This is authentic. This is an actual client that has allowed me to capture their day and bring Kelby 1 along. You're going to see how I approach every element of the day. We're talking about an overall view at my approach. I really hope you take a moment to check out my brand new classes, A Real Wedding, live and uncensored, only on kelby1.com.
Get the world's best photography, lighting, and Photoshop training at Photoshop World. It's 3 non-stop days of real-world training where you can get personal attention and unlimited access to the world's top instructors in Photoshop and photography. When you attend, you'll have chances to experience hands-on live shoots and workshops. This is the must-attend conference for photographers and Photoshop users. Sign up today. Photoshop World, the world's best Photoshop and photography conference.
Hey, we are back. Scott Kelby here with RC Concepcion.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on,
And
everybody?
our special guest, Mr. Peter Hurley, an expert at Digital Photo Professional 4, one of the leading experts in the country. today. So we've looked at a bunch of high ISO ones. Let's look at the sharpness.
Yeah, well, I'm shooting this at 320 ISO because I like my aperture at 7.1 and my shutter speed at 1/125th. That's where I am. So if we come into this, we probably don't want to see all that. We could come in a little bit more, and we're at 7.1 here, and it looks like it's a lot of sharpness to me.
That's a lot of hair fibers right there.
Wow, look at that.
That's at 100%.
Wow, look at that.
That's pretty sharp.
I think that's great.
There's a lot of detail there.
See,
I like that. I like seeing that. My clients like that. They flip out when I show them their eye that big. I was like, I always say, you ever seen your eye like this? Nobody's ever seen their eye like that.
Yes, kind of disgusting, really. But
Yeah, look at all the hairs on this guy.
No, I know. He's very hairy. No, I don't mean like that.
I'm sorry?
Yeah,
But look at that sharpness.
it's sharp.
It's sharp.
So I mean, this
But-
thing's got craziness.
All right, so let me just kind of wrap up. Let's just bring it together because we've seen information, we've seen detail. The selling points behind the entire thing. Individuals that are going to be getting this, they're going to be getting 50.6 megapixels, but the advantages over the medium format. Right now, the first thing is the price, right?
Price is the biggest thing. Yeah,
Price is the biggest
size.
thing.
Yeah,
Lenses? Are there more lenses or less lenses available?
more lenses.
Okay, so there's more lenses. It's not a video thing. That goes to 5D Mark III.
Right.
Quality's the same overall when you're working with the pictures.
Yeah.
Are you happy with the quality?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But because I think that's one of the things that we're talking about, like the hands-on experience, and it's like, well, I couldn't find this or I couldn't do this. That's actually a good thing. That's a very good thing for you, for a person who's never owned one, never wanted to wear one. Now you're actually putting your hands on it. Seems like it's a pretty decent experience.
I think it's opening up a whole new thing for people, being able to reach this camera rather than
Did you see
stretching for the medium format.
Did you see my guitar picture?
I saw your guitar picture was
Back
gorgeous.
to the guitar picture. Let me see it.
No, I don't even have it on screen anymore.
On screen. The guitar picture was
We
gorgeous.
got a couple more
The detail was phenomenal.
we got a couple more questions too. What about the fall off difference, meaning the out of focus area on the 5DSR against medium format? So I think what they mean is the depth of field. Is that what they're saying? Yeah. So is the depth of field seem more shallow or yet less shallow on this?
It's a little bit less shallow, but not much. It's not like I have to go. Usually I'm at 7.1 on my medium format. I'm at 7.1 at this, and it's a little bit more, but it's not much. I don't know. I used to be 6.3. One of my friends nicknamed me 6.3, and then I just was like, I went to 7.1. I was like, you can't call me 6.3 anymore. But when you see it, when you go in on this particular shot, it looks like I nailed the focus right in the middle of his eye. This one actually looks like I hit the back eye a little bit more. You're always supposed to hit the front eye, and I hit the back eye, but that's still pretty sharp. And then you're getting the ears pretty sharp all the way to the back. So I just feel from testing both that it's pretty similar. It's not as far off as you think.
Right.
So it's not like you got to be at 4.0 to match a 7.1 on a medium format. At least from my experience.
Good enough.
All right. Any more questions, Peter?
Let's see. We're going to check the chat here real quick. So there was that. There was focus. There
Well,
was
Jared wants to know if it's going to replace my Hassie or Phase.
Okay, there's one.
What do you think?
I don't. Well, first of all, I went from Hassie to Phase, so I'm shooting Phase now. And I found from this that just for ease of portability and stuff, it makes it easier for me. And loading, I seriously, I put stuff in my backpack and I'm like, I don't have to load up my think tank thing full to the brim, like overflowing. And I've got the same thing. This thing packs a real punch, so I think it would replace the medium format for me. So that's the plan.
Yeah, that's saying something.
Wow. Okay.
There you go.
Now, also important to be able to know while we're talking about it, because I'm looking at like some notes that I had done for this and some notes just kind of collecting. The sensors are exactly the same, 50.6 on both sides. R cancels out the low pass effect, and both of those sensors are Canon design sensors.
Jock's asking how big the body is.
It's exactly the same as
size.
the 5D.
Same size.
The
right?
5D Mark III. So
You wouldn't know except for the thing.
Yeah, the
that
little
says
logo.
5D.
You didn't see the
Yeah.
nameplate. Hey, anybody want to get a tight-in shot? Can we get a tight-in shot? Which camera should I go to? That one up there? Let's see. So there it is. That's not the greatest view, but can you get any tighter, or is that full tight? That's as tight as you can get?
Right. So for the most part, it's exactly the same.
Oh, he's going to super tight camera. Here we go.
He's going to
super tight camera, super tight lens.
So this is
There we
full
go.
Canon design as well.
Yeah,
It
so it's
uses
just
the
a regular
Canon
DSLR
It
size.
uses the Canon CMOS sensor.
Right. It's their it's their own sensor, which I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's a great thing. Exactly the same design. Ergonomics seem exactly the same. The back of the screen looked a little different to me, but
Yeah.
I mean, minute, small changes.
Hey, we only have like 7 minutes left because Peter's got to fly. So couple things.
Now-
So there was a little bit of good news on the photography front. I don't know if you saw. I just learned about this all yesterday. But in Arizona, they were going to. Well, they passed a bill. I'm sorry, Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I'm sorry, it says
Arkansas.
Arizona. Arkansas. In Arkansas, they passed a bill that would have pretty much outlawed street photography, because you had to have someone's written permission to take their picture out in public. And luckily, both the ASMP and PPA, two wonderful organizations, just wrote the governor and called it to everyone's attention. And the governor, his first veto of the year was to veto that street photography privacy bill.
Oh, shebang.
So he, the governor, for this first veto too, for this governor, vetoed that bill and said it was too far-reaching. It affected too many things. And but you know what? Can I say something? While the governor did veto this, and I absolutely think he did the right thing, you're going to see more and more of this. As more people are concerned about their privacy and the use of their images and stuff, I hate to say it, but you're going to see more and more and more of this. So
The problem with it, I think, is that what happens is there's so many different, like, individual states have varying levels of things. Like, we were talking about it over lunch. Like, you saw this, that there were these plans that were coming. But then on the other side, you saw Los Angeles, like, I think it was like the LAPD got fined like $50,000 for violating the rights of like 5 photographers.
Right.
And they had to like train the LAPD on photography not being a crime. So you have things that are trying to be imposed in this section, people that are being fined in opposite sections, and it's just
right, but I would,
space.
yeah, and there, while there's a little win in Los Angeles for that, I think more for media photographers or people going to be posting things. I think that even though the governor overrode that, someone's going to reintroduce the bill, and it's not a good day for street photography.
I don't remember if it was the first, if this was the same law or not, but there was the one about public works where they said that the police couldn't be photographed from any closer than 25 feet. There was another one that came out on that.
You shoot with a 50 megapixel camera?
You don't have that, bro.
And you can crop in and still sharp.
I'm going
and
to sit at
crisp.
50, and you're still going to be seeing the handcuffs.
Hey, the other thing was...
Wait, can I jump in? I want to jump.
go
Sorry,
ahead.
I want
Go
to jump
ahead.
in one thing. I got to be able to share this. So, Peach Pit sent out a release that talked about this. So it said for the 5th consecutive year, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, and now 2014, Scott Kelby has been recognized as the top-selling photography techniques book author in the United States based on BookScan. So, top dog number 1, El Supremo.
Thank you.
Golf
Very
clap,
kind.
golf clap.
Thank you. Thanks
That's
to
pretty
all
cool, man.
my readers. Thanks to all the people out there that support and buy the books. I mean, that's what makes it happen. So
pretty
thanks
decent, man.
thanks
It
to
was good.
everybody. High five to all my readers and also to my bookmaking team here. We have some wonderful editors and layout artists and people that are so dedicated to this. By the way, so Kim Doty, who is my editor, runs our book account, right? So if you want to get tied into the books, they do a lot of fun stuff. They give away a lot of free content. You can go follow her on Facebook. It's Kim Doty, it's D-O-T-Y, Kim Doty Books. Hold on, he's finding it. Hold on.
I'll get it.
It's got a weird name. It's Kim Doty Kelby Books or something. Is that it right there?
Here, right here.
Oh, look at that headshot. Wait, I
Look
see
at
a
that
headshot.
That was like
I
Peter
see a
Hurley.
headshot.
All right, so follow Kim. She is
Kim Doty
at
Kelby Books.
Kim Doty Kelby Books. That's it. Kim Doty Kelby Books. Go and follow her on Facebook.
And it's the voice of all of the stuff that comes out of Kelby One.
Oh, yeah. Hey, they do a lot of fun stuff. I got to tell you, they work that social media stuff like you can't believe. They're always doing giveaways, behind-the-scenes pictures. Kim was here taking pictures right before we went.
That's right.
Before we went live. So make sure you go follow her, and you'll always stay up with what's going on. And they always have giveaways and fun stuff.
Let's see the URL one more time so you guys can have it.
One more time, please.
Facebook.com/Kim Doty Kelby Books.
That's it. Kim Doty,
source.
D-O-T-Y, Kelby Books. Go follow her and Cindy, and they put up a lot of great stuff, and they're always doing
Oh, you can see
And
pages.
they're working
of
on
the
a
book.
very special book right now.
Yeah,
They
they are.
most
They are
certainly
just
are.
finishing up a very special book from a photographer in New York who is switching from medium format to a 50 megapixel DSLR.
I wonder who.
But the guy is really good at headshots. His book, because I worked as editor on the book, I can tell you the book is absolutely outstanding. One of the best books I've ever worked on. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it. And so that's going to be coming up here soon.
You didn't only work as an editor. He actually, this book would have never been accomplished if he sat there and listened to me squawk at him for like hours and hours.
I tell you what, you know why I know the book is so great? Because I can't believe how much I learned. Just sitting with you and getting all these insights and stuff. I mean, and it's all in the book. I mean, it's like, you're absolutely going to love it. I think this book, although it's on headshots, it's called The Headshot, right?
It's called The Headshot.
It's called The Headshot. Besides the fact that it's about headshots,
That's the cover.
There's the cover shot
The
right
cover
there.
shot is here. If you guys pick up Popular Photography this month,
see if I can grab the
you can
cover.
see a little bit about me. I had them in the studio, and Miriam, I got to shoot their editor-in-chief, Miriam, and she was awesome. And here's her headshot in Popular Photography. She's also got it going in American Photo, I hope. Hold on. And you can also, if you're a subscriber, you will get this on the, it's got to be in the front, right? Why am I missing this? You will get, here it is. Look at this. Look at this. Can you zoom in on it? So if you're a, is it too small? Oh yeah, here we go. So wait, glare. I'm gonna take care of the glare for you. Okay, see, these are the two covers down here by my finger, and the subscriber one is the one with my headshot. And
Nice.
then here is Miriam, the shot I took of her. So you can see that.
it's a great shot.
So
That
guys,
is a great shot.
Popular Photo, Pop Photo, check it out. You can also go online and see some videos. We did a video of the shoot, and they did a little video on me and my Pentax 6.7, which was pretty nice.
Hey, here's the cover with a
The headshot.
and a
That looks
nice
good.
nice subhead
And,
there.
and I know you guys have been super patient, and Scott and I sat and talked this book out over a year ago, so it's been a long time. And
It's worth the wait.
Yeah, I apologize for all that. We're in the home stretch,
Hey, dude,
right? We are home.
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you want to have an awesome book or do you want to have a fast book?
An awesome book.
Absolutely. It's going to be an awesome book.
Guys,
Yeah.
they are so, like, I come up with new stuff up here every day, and I just came in today and I was like, I got some new ideas. I got to put it in there. Like, stop. You got to stop. I was like, I can't. There's only one book.
Yeah.
I'm only going to do one book.
I keep telling him,
So
put the paintbrush down, the Mona Lisa's done.
I am just going to jam a couple more things in there for you, and then we're going to, but it's not going to extend the time. We discussed it.
It's not going to extend the time.
No.
Also,
talk about this?
I got to give Regina Pagel some love. So those
we
of you
love
who've
her.
heard us talk about, we do love her.
Yeah.
We've talked about Regina Pagels here on the show many times. She is an absolutely wonderful portrait photographer. She's my guest blogger today and she laid out her techniques and everything that she does. Scroll down. RC's got it up
Yeah,
on the
I was
screen
just
here.
looking at it and
Look
I'm
at
like,
this.
man,
she's
does
got
she just
videos.
dump knowledge.
She's got everything. And
Look.
her style is just absolutely awesome. And I took a quick look at it today, and I saw a couple of things that I was wondering how she did that. And I'm like, aha! So she's wonderful, and she's got a couple different things in there, and she shows it all. Here's the lighting setup.
That's amazing.
Here's the. She is
This
just
is
a
a person.
bomb.
This
I
is a
love
person
her.
comfortable with their craft. They're like, you know what? I'm going to tell you everything, exactly how I do it. 12 feet, 29,
Right.
5. It's
Right.
like
That's
she's not playing
amazing.
around.
No. Well, here's the thing: is you know why she's so willing to give away her secrets? Because there's only one Regina Pagels. She can teach you every single thing, and it'll be the same post processing. The light will be in the same place, but there are people that just have a gift for photography,
Right?
and those people have that whatever that certain something is, and so. You know, there will be people that will use
like,
use her
wow.
techniques and stuff, and they'll have the same post processing, the same stuff, but the only Regina Pagels gets Regina Pagels shots.
Yep.
So that's great that she's so willing to share that, and you're right, she's very confident, very comfortable. I've learned all this stuff, and I'll share it with you, but she's really got something special. So very honored to have her on my blog today. Please go to scottkelby.com and check her out. Also, we got some new classes coming out. We have released a bunch of new classes. So if you're a Kelby 1 subscriber, You have a new class?
I have a new class.
He has a new class. Peter Hurley has a new class. So go to kelby1.com, log into your dashboard, and you'll see them all listed there. But we've got some new classes on DSLR, filmmaking. Those are being released
The interview
tomorrow.
with Matthew Jordan Smith.
The exclusive interview with Matthew Jordan Smith. He's awesome.
I like Matthew Jordan.
I like Matthew Jordan.
Really, cool.
Really,
too.
really good guy.
And you have some stuff. Oh, the art of photography. There it is. The inspiration
Look
series.
at that. Is that an awesome shot right there?
Yes.
I took that.
Yes. And you have a class.
Not really. I wish I had.
I'm like, uncomfortable moment here.
I'm just gonna take out his watermark.
Now, a couple more things before we wrap up. I did want to talk about Peachbit. We were talking
We have
about
giveaways
Peachbit.
too.
Right, we have the giveaways. I did want to talk about the Peachbit promo. Right, go to peachbit.com/Kelby1, enter in the code Kelby1, and you're gonna get Todd Sipes' book on exploring urban. It's basically an urban exploration photography book. Right, so it talks
get
about
40%
kind of moving around.
Wow,
40%
look at
off
that.
of this ebook. So it's a great thing to be able to do. Make sure that you go to peachbit.com/Kelby1, enter in the code Kelby1, and you can get that. Now, tomorrow night,
This
we're
is
gonna have a
big.
webcast.
This is big. Hey, we need you to help us on this one, okay? We need you to help us. We need you to help spread the word. RC, tell them.
Basically, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, I just finished coming back from Dubai as you were going there to get a really cool honor, right? And you're going to talk about it, right? But it deals with the royal family. The prince actually gave you the honor. It was a
Prince
really
gave me
big
an
thing.
award.
So it was a huge thing, and I don't want to kind of like spill all of it, but we were crossing paths. I spent time there. You spent time there.
Brad
spent time there.
Can we go see Brad real quick?
That's Dubai, Brad. So
How'd you like Dubai, Brad?
It was pretty darn amazing.
Really was, wasn't it?
It was.
We had a ball.
how was Robbie's?
Robbie's was
Robbie's
delicious.
amazing.
It was really,
So
really
anyway,
good.
so we figured that what we would do is we'd sit around and we'd talk a little bit about the experience, right?
Yeah.
You want to show some pictures?
I want to show some pictures. I want you to show some pictures. RC got the most freaking amazing shot from Dubai. One of them, I'm not just saying this because he's RC and he's my buddy. He got one of the best shots from Dubai I've ever seen, period. And I thought I had done well, and then I saw RC shot, and I'm like, oh. Anyway, you're going to see that tomorrow for sure. We're going to see some RC shots. We're going to see some of my shots.
Brad's shots?
Brad shots. You're going to see a whole bunch of stuff tomorrow. We're going to give away some prints. We got some other giveaways and stuff. We're going to have lots of fun. We're going to take your questions.
Talk about post-processing.
We're going to talk about the photography. We're going to talk about the post-processing. We're going to talk about the gear. It's all free tomorrow. So can you help spread the word about this? All you have to do is go to kelby1.com/Dubai. And you can sign up, just register to come. It's free. And join us tomorrow night at 7 p.m. But what really help us the most is spreading the word. We want as many people to watch as possible. If you can't make the live broadcast, we will start rebroadcasting it the following day.
I'm going to show you guys what I want you to do. If you're watching Twitter, please do this. Go over here and go, make sure you tune in tomorrow
he's setting you up.
at Scott Kelby and @AboutRC talking about Dubai, and then just post the link. That's it. Just do that. If you can tweet that, we would be very, very grateful for that.
Very, very grateful.
Now, let's get into the contest while we're doing this, right? Make sure that you go to kelby1.com/contest. Inside of that, you can go ahead and fill in your name. You can fill in your email address. You can leave us a comment. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us what you want to be able to see. And you're going to win Photoshop for Lightroom users by Mr. Scott Kelby. So this is going to be one book that you can win. And the second book, this book is nowhere. So it's not about the f-stop by Jay Maisel. So I'm really excited to read this book. And one of you guys is going to get the copy for that. So good luck to all of you for that.
All right, RC is going to get queued up on the contest here. And we're going to tell you how to enter to win.
I already got it.
Oh, you did it?
Oh, yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry. I was reading something else. I got a photographer I want you to follow.
Okay.
If you will go in, you can see on my screen here. Do I have it up? Yeah, I'm on Video Control Room 2. So this is, go to Rob Foldy Photography. It's on Facebook. He is a great sports photographer, and he's just got some really, really cool stuff. Anyway, if you'll go check it out, because he does like to show bare bulbs.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun. No, anyway, he's a buddy of mine, really, really good photographer, and he's really starting to make a lot of noise out there. So if you want to follow one of those up and I don't want to say he's up and coming because he already shoots for Getty's. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know where you go after that. He shot for Sports Illustrated. He shot for Getty. I don't want to call him really up and coming, but he's starting to make a lot of noise out there. So please go follow him on Facebook at facebook.com. I believe it's /Rob Foldy Photography.
All right, listen, you streamer 6347, I just finished seeing a ticket for LA event. What are they talking about?
Oh, I can give away tickets.
So look here, right here. Seminars, you got to shoot like a pro seminar. Make sure you go to kelby1.com/live.
Yeah,
I'm assuming they're talking about your shoot like a pro.
Yeah, we'll give away a
Okay.
ticket to my LA and my Salt Lake City coming up April 13th in Salt Lake, 2 days later in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Hey, you know what we're working on? We're trying to get a studio. There's a studio out in LA. We're trying to get them to, it's expensive, and I'm trying to get a deal to get in there and shoot a car. They've got one of those 20 by 30 chimeras. It's 30 feet long.
Oh my
It's like the
gosh.
most amazing chimera ever. And so if I can get the studio, then I'm going to try to get cars. But, you know, getting a studio in LA that's big enough to shoot cars with a 30-foot chimera it's not easy.
Okay.
But we're trying. They're being really cool to work with us. So hopefully I'll have news and lots of news on the studio and the whole shoot and all that stuff
Now, Peter.
right before my LA seminar.
Can I show a little bit of
You
my
need to
headshot
show
crew?
it. Please show us the headshot crew.
I got to show you guys the headshot crew. So I have a site that I run. It's called headshotcrew.com, and it is the largest. We have the largest team of headshot and portrait photographers in the world. There's 6,918 people on here, and then I make people associates. So I feature them, and if you want to learn photography, you go into photographer coaching over here. If you want to find a photographer, you would click here and people find people, and we give referrals through that way. And why is my screen doing that? I don't know. But this is once you get inside. If you want to join, there's a 30-day free trial. You can get inside and you can I do weekly episodic videos. I have crew posts. These are the crew members that are currently active on there. This is a little post that I did today because I was on the NAB site and I noticed that there were some CEOs that weren't looking so confident. This guy does not look like he has his act together. Look, it's on the NAB show site. But however, how's this one look?
Wow, awesome.
Shabang. I didn't even know it was going to show up, but this guy I don't think has his act together. He's being shot down on and he's losing his power. You can easily see that this shot is more powerful. It just happens to be one of mine.
Shabang!
I saw it today. I couldn't believe it. So I do a 30-day free trial with all these. We release these videos every week, and then I do a crew cast, I'm calling it, which is a live show where I do portfolio reviews with the people through this system called Spreecast, which is awesome. And if you guys want to see where I'm going to be, you can go to my workshop page, and you can see my upcoming event schedule. I'm going to be in Palm Springs. I'm doing the Headshot Intensive in New York. I'm doing Illuminating the Face in Halifax. I'm doing the F-Stoppers in the Bahamas. Then I'm doing a course in Detroit. Then I'm back in New York. And then I'm going to be in Vegas for Photoshop World.
Ooh, coming up in August.
So make
So
sure.
there it is. So check it out. Sign up. You can sign up for free. If you want to get in on the coaching, there's a 30-day free trial, and then it's $24.99 a month, or you can do a yearly or whatever, and you can be critiqued by me, and I can up your game, because that's the thing. I want everybody to rock out headshots in the world and get referrals through this thing, and we're working on an app and all that stuff. So hopefully it'll happen.
Well, awesome. Thank you for being here on the show, Peter. It's always a blast to have you on.
Thanks for having
Especially in the context of having you try out some unreleased technology.
It's very cool.
Right? It's
That
very,
is
very
so
cool.
cool.
I
It's
know.
so cool. I'm so fired up about the cameras. It's awesome. To be able to have it in our hands early is
Oh,
like
yeah.
so cool. It's like you're playing with the newest
In-
stuff.
In fact, I'm going to actually go do a shoot here in a few minutes on Periscope, and I'm going to be shooting that same guitar. I'm going to do a demo on how to use Periscope from beginning to end.
Cool.
So anyway, want to thank everybody for watching. Want to thank our studio audience for being absolutely silent. Oh, don't clap now. It's way no. It's too late.
No, studio
Oh,
audience, where are
no.
they? Shame them.
Shame them. Hit them with
Arnaldo.
the camera. Shame them.
Hit them. Camera hit.
Shame them.
So they're sitting there. So
Like,
Latanya
we're not-
and
yeah,
Sean are like
no,
sitting there.
oh, come
and they came by,
on.
and we're like, come on,
Ooh.
guys.
These are the three most quiet people. It's like they were at jury duty or something. Holy cow. All right. How about one last look at Brad's beard?
That's good.
Dude, that's looking nice. Is this lighting as good as it usually is?
It's pretty good.
It's not bad.
It's pretty good.
He's got a
It's-
nice kicker on the side.
Get that chin out. What are you doing?
Get that chin out.
Thank you.
No, not that. Oh, God.
Not that far. Don't go crazy.
All right, Brad, what do you got going on? Anything? Okay, thanks, Brad. Go look at Brad's work. bmorevisuals.com if you want to see some amazing concert photography. Thanks to Peter Hurley. Thanks to RC, all of our
thank you.
viewers. Thanks to our crew. Peace.
See you guys later.
I
Take
mean,
care.
see you guys next week. That's what I
guys.
meant to say. Oh, too late. Too late. Too late. Oh.